Jhane, I loved seeing that this is, you know, one female led, but also, you know, set amongst the Comanche nation as well. But was there any other communities that were on the table to be part of this story?
Well, when Dan originally, when they originally came up with the idea and started writing this, they Googled who were the most fierce native, what was the most, what was it? Who was the most fierce native tribe or whatever, and Comanches popped up. Then they Googled something else. Who were the best warriors or whatever? Comanches popped up. So Comanches kept popping up. So then they chose Comanche, which I'm thrilled, because rarely do I get to work on a project where, you know, it's Comanche content. So I'm so excited. I was very excited.
And also for Amber, I mean, there's one scene you're fighting for your life as you're sinking in the mud. That must have been quite a horrible scene for you to film.
Yeah, smelling not for the reasons you would think. I mean, yeah, mostly it was the smell. That mud pit. First of all, we were there for like what, 5 days or something. Because, you know, once I was in there, it was very difficult to like, it was impossible to just like demudify. I mean, it just took forever. So there's no way to like reset back to normal. So we had to do it over, you know, the course of like a week. And yeah, I mean, the mud was like thick and it was heavy. And it also smelled really bad. And I just learned this recently, Dan said this, that it didn't smell that way. Like you'd show up and it would be fine. And it started smelling like that after a person got in it. Like no specific person, just as soon as like a human went in there, it would smell. So I'm like, I don't know what that means. And I really wish he hadn't said that in front of me because it is so gross. But you know, yeah, we did it. And then I would just stand in like a water trough and like 4 women would just like hose me down because we were in the middle of the woods. So there was not like there was just really truly no convenient way to do this. And I would just like try to strip off all my layers because I had like a wetsuit and, you know, would get in like would get in my satchel, it would get all in my clothes. And then like over the course of days, it like started turning my like buckskin clothes into like rawhide. It was just like it was quite the process.
And also your role is quite action based as well, and your character's Naru's costume doesn't actually provide much protection. Was there any kind of injuries at all that you picked up along the way?
I mean, besides your normal, like I remember we had a 4-week training camp, and I remember at one point I came in and I was like, my leg hurts. And then I was like, I can't kick above my knee. But so like, just like normal stuff like that, you know, normal stuff like that. Nothing like wild, thankfully. But you know, I mean, but also that was just how people fought back in the day anyway. That was just
usual bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jhane, also there was at certain points I actually thought the predator was actually trying to protect Naru, but instead of seeing her as a threat. Was that always an intentional part of the story?
Trying to protect. Well, the predator has a code. Are you a predator fan? You know, like everybody has different codes. Comanches natives have core values. So the predator's code is he doesn't kill anybody or try to fight anybody that's unarmed. And so when you saw those times when it's more like protective or whatever, she wasn't armed, right? She was tied up or she was, you know, doing just something else. So she wasn't, so that's why he didn't, because she wasn't a threat. So he didn't, you know, he always goes for whoever's holding the bow and arrow or the lance or the gun or
feels like the most like worthy opponent, you know?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.